Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I hope you're doing well. This week's Parsha is Pekudei. And in Pekudei, we kind of get to the end of the building of the Mishkan, which I know we've been talking about forever. But basically, the Jews have been called upon to donate to the building of the Mishkan. And in this Parsha, the Jews have given so much that they have to stop giving, that everyone has given so much that there is actually too much gold and too much copper and too much brass, which first shows us the importance of honesty, of financial honesty. That, like, if Moshe and Aaron wanted to be like, yeah, keep giving, and then like stash the rest of for themselves, like that would have been dishonest. But they could have done it, but they didn't. And so what's the theme between this, the giving of stuff to build the Mishkan, and the theme of the golden calf? So as we've spoken about before, the Jewish people were stressed. Moshe was up on Har Sinai, on Mount Sinai for 40 days. They were like, where is our guy? We feel adrift. We need to do something. And so Aaron, in trying to stall them, says, you know what? We'll make a calf. Just go ask your wives and your daughters and your sons for their gold. And everyone gave generously. Aaron was anticipating them not giving. He thought it would take them longer. He thought it would stall them, but it didn't. They were generous. Jews, whether or not they're doing the right thing, are generous. And so I pulled up this article talking about Jewish giving charitable donations compared to other groups. So yeah, even though only about 1 in 50 Americans is Jewish, Jews donate at high levels. Um, so the average annual Jewish household donates $2,526 to charity, far more than the $1,749 that Protestant counterparts give, or $1,142 that Catholics give. This is a study from 2016. Apparently, 76% of American Jews gave to charity in 2012, compared with a 63% of Americans who observe other religions or are not religious. So we're a tiny group of people, and yet we donate more than other groups. There's a question of like, why are Jews so generous? The first thing is that, yes, it is in our genes. We the word for tzedakah is comes from the word tzedek, which means justice. It doesn't mean kindness. It doesn't mean goodness. It means justice. It means that this is something that you do. And the Rambam, Maimonides, has a part in his writings where he talks about that if there's a person who's cruel, if there's a person who doesn't give, that is enough grounds to suspect their lineage, that perhaps they're not actually Jewish, because that is not found in our nation. There are patterns of like, why is it that Jews give so much? Of course, like it's in our Torah, it's in our genes, but also education is big in our genes, and people who are more educated tend to give more, whether or not they have a high income. That's something that's interesting too. Even in Jewish households making about $50,000 or less, still give way more than other households making $50,000 or less. So it's not just Jews who have a lot of money. It's all Jews of all income levels. And I don't know, I was so inspired by this, and I just am reminded of how amazing Jews are and how amazing Jews have been able to give in this situation with Israel. And it's just amazing and promising. So we're talking about the Mishkan. The Jews have been giving so much. It's reminiscent of in Israel right after October 7th, when all of people were donating food, and now the message that was going around was, please stop giving food. We have enough food, which is like so beautiful. Like, Mika Amcha Yisrael, who is like your people, O Israel of Israel, like really just moving. So Shabbat Shalom, wishing everyone a peaceful Shabbat, and God willing, I'll see you all next week.